Hello and welcome to this video playing, oh my goodness, Wodaskathabodrahoma. Wow, okay. Let's get rolling with the Rossolimo. Yeah, we've seen quite a bit of the Rossolimo in the World Championship match. I think Fabiano tried it 3 times, and once he tried this, which I have in my book, my Keep It Simple E4 book. And here Magnus played e5. That was somewhat expected after his play in the first 2 black games. And yeah, here Caruana played a b4. That's an interesting move. I have it in the book as a recommendation if you want to surprise your opponent. And but Magnus was very well prepared and equalized. b4 is an interesting move. That is what I have in my book. It's I mean, it's called Keep It Simple, and b4 is not keeping it simple. It's rather make it complicated. Yeah, this is very much comparable to game 3 in the match, I think, where Magnus also played with Queen c7. I'm also going with b4 as Caruana did. This is also my recommendation against Queen e7. This a3 b4 is a way to try to get to the slide pawn weaknesses that black has. It's not much in terms of weaknesses. It's not that black is in trouble or anything, but it's the thing to try here. Okay, probably bishop e3. Put a little bit more pressure on c5. Black will probably take at some point. I still keep forgetting that I can paint during the game. Probably he will take there. Often you can simply overprotect the pawn, but bishop f8 is not on here. That is too slow. Yeah, so he decides to capture. And now I have a little bit of pressure against a7. It's however a pawn that is difficult to capture. So always traps, piece traps possible. Okay, I should have thought about this for a moment maybe. Yeah, f5 was a move that... anyway, it didn't happen. So what is knight b6? That's a move I don't understand really. If you play the knight somewhere where, I mean, there's absolutely nothing to attack, it's often a bit questionable, really. The knight is just looking at protected squares. It's much more natural to play rook e8, knight f8 to e6. That's a good spot for the knight. Okay, what I'm trying here with rook a5 is to play queen to a1. Get more pressure against the a pawn and against the e5 pawn. Oh, that's a concession. That's a bit of a concession. Still, how to do that? Now for white. Okay, now queen a1 looks a tad stupid. when a7 is not attacked anymore. I would still like to get some pressure going here against e5. It's however difficult to ever take the pawn, right? It's really difficult. Okay, is he playing... Yeah, at least I'm preventing f5 that way, as there's too much pressure on e5. I can also maybe think about queen to c3 at some point, which would maybe queen c3 is actually threatening b5. That's interesting. Yeah, probably it's still a bit of a naive move. Yeah, he will have some way to prevent b5. Yeah, but it's not so super obvious that I'm threatening it. So okay, so we'll push this back, or he gives me the bishop pair is also possible. I mean, that's the wrong way to phrase it. He allows me, let's say, to get his bishop, and I don't have to play against the bishop pair anymore. Now b5. That was the idea. Yeah, should work. Don't see why not. He cannot take with either pawn, and I'm threatening to take a6 and destroy his pawn structure. One key element of white's game is always that this bishop on g7 is not a really stellar piece. On g7, no, that's not good. So I'm winning a pawn. Hooray! What did Yasser Seirawan once say? Half of his life as a chess player is counting pawns. It's not completely wrong. Okay, so I'm trying to double on b7 here, on the 7th rank. And it's a very nice position. I'm a pawn up, and I have the more comfortable piece placement. Comfortable is a very... I kind of understand that's just terrible to play. Every single piece that I have is better than his piece. Cannot move. I suspect that the engine gives a really huge evaluation here already. Almost +3. It's not a surprise. Okay, so let's have a bit of a brief analysis here. He went e5, and this is the position where Caruana played this b4 move. It's interesting. I don't quite remember how it went. Yeah, like this. It was something like this, right? Yeah, I analyzed that before when I was writing my book, but I couldn't really find something super convincing for white, and it turned out that there wasn't anything. It's a good surprise weapon though, if you want something funky. Probably now it's not a great surprise anymore if it was played in a World Championship match, but still, like, objectively, it's not a bad line. Okay, so I took on c6 as I had analyzed in my book, d3, queen c7, and now, yeah, you have more than one idea here. a3, b4 is one of them. The engine also gives stuff like a4, knight a3. Knight a3 is a bit odd. Yeah, you can do that. b5 is not a good move for black, so you get to c4. Yeah, but this a3, b4 is interesting. It's a very straightforward way to play. Trying to get to queenside weaknesses. It might look counterintuitive to do that, because I mean, I'm getting rid of his double pawn, but the double pawn is not a problem here for black anyway. It's not weak in any way, so that felt very normal. And now he took on b4, which is a slight concession as mentioned. So takes, castles, knight d2. Knight b6 I felt must be wrong. That's just a bad square for the knight. So I was surprised to see this move. And interesting, the engine c4 or queen b1. No love for rook a5. I don't think it's a bad move. Queen b1 is, however, also quite sensible. Maybe going for b5 again. Yeah, I think it's okay. The engine gives this about the same evaluation as the other moves. a6, queen a1. Yeah, and rook e8. Yeah, now this queen c3 is setting up b5. I'm surprised that the engine gives c4 in this position, really. Intending b5, that is not too bad. I mean, it looks a little bit odd because this is really not a good pawn, but he probably never gets there. Yeah, he never gets to the pawn. I just get b5 and I'm better next. I mean, for example, I mean this c5 even. This is the second idea. Yeah, this is of course a fantastic position for white. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, this is absolutely great, because he cannot move a pawn here ever anymore. Yeah, I'm having excellent control. This is weak, terrible position. So that's a secondary idea. C4 was a very strong move then. Interesting. Okay, well, I went queen c3, intending b5. And yeah, the way it turned out, that was possible. And knight d7 is a mistake then. He has to go rook d8 or something, probably. Yeah, something like this. And now b5 is not as effective. Maybe I'm still playing it, yeah. This. Ah, it's got knight a4. Queen a5, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, b5 then is even here is a slight advantage, but you can, this is certainly up for debate. You can play h3 or something and just be a bit better. Yeah, and here, this is just great for white. I'm threatening ba6 to destroy the pawn structure, and just nothing to do. The way it turned out, I'm just a pawn up. And then, yeah, this is just terrible for black. Yeah, okay guys, thanks for watching.